They say the earth keeps secrets, old ones, secrets packed so tight into stone and time that they hum with something ancient. Henry Klein, a geology professor nearing retirement, had chased such whispers all his life, but the hollow deep cave system in southern Kentucky was unlike anything he'd encountered. The cave had no official name. Locals only referred to it in hushed tones as the place that echoes wrong. It was Henry's graduate assistant, Amy Barnes, who found the mention of it in an old mining ledger buried in the archives of the university. A shaft was dug in 1892, collapsed mysteriously in 1893, and had since been untouched. There were no records of rescues, no records of bodies. Now, with the funding for one last field expedition secured, Henry, Amy, and 2 cave specialists, Sam Keller and Luis Donofrio, were heading in. The entrance was a jagged wound in the limestone bluff, overgrown with vines and half covered by a fallen tree. As the team set up camp outside, dusk settled, and a chill crept in, not from the air, but from the ground itself. Amy swore she could hear a low, rhythmic thumping beneath her boots. Sam joked it was just the caffeine in her blood. Inside, the cave air was thick and still. No breeze, no bats, no life. Then the sound started. Subtle at first, like someone shifting their weight in the dark, far away. Amy paused. Did anyone hear that? Drip water, Henry said too quickly, but it wasn't. Not quite. They moved deeper. Luis planted beacons to map their descent. Every so often, the echoes would stutter, like a skipped record. And once, a voice Amy was sure of it echoed her name back to her. They set up base camp in a large chamber. Walls slick with mineral deposits shimmered in their headlamps. A narrow tunnel extended beyond, where the cave dropped sharply. That night, Amy couldn't sleep. The sound came again, closer now, like whispers layered over one another. She recorded them on her phone. In the morning, her phone was dead. Not drained dead. Melted plastic at the edges. Sam blamed the humidity. Luis didn't speak. At 200 feet in, the cave widened into a cathedral-like chamber. Here, their gear radios, headlamps, began to fail intermittently. The rock walls were embedded with fossils, but stranger still were the runes etched around them, crude yet deliberate. Not man-made, not ancient, something in between. I don't think these were here when the miners dug through, Henry whispered. The whispers returned, and the light dimmed. Not just flickered, dimmed, as if the darkness itself was absorbing the light. They found the stone on the 5th day, perfectly round, black as obsidian, and impossibly smooth. It stood in a pit of perfectly dry earth. Luis approached first, touching it. He screamed, not a yelp or a cry, but a scream that turned to gurgling silence. When they reached him, he was unconscious, eyes wide open, still breathing, but frozen. Henry insisted on continuing. Amy refused. Sam sided with Henry. Amy stayed behind with Luis. That night, Amy heard Luis speak. "Amy," he whispered, voice cracked like old tape. "Don't trust the echoes." She turned to him. His mouth was closed. Henry and Sam never returned. Amy waited for 2 days. On the 3rd, she decided to leave. But the path back was different. Twists that weren't there before. Tunnels that looped back. Then she saw Sam. He stood in a side tunnel, back turned, motionless. "Sam?" He turned. Not with surprise, but like a puppet. His face was wrong. Eyes too wide. Smile too slow. Like he didn't remember how to be human. Amy ran. No lights, no markers. Only the sound guiding her. But the echoes had turned on her. They didn't repeat, they answered. "You shouldn't have come. You're still dreaming. There's no up." Somehow, Amy found the entrance. or something shaped like it. The sunlight felt wrong. Warmer, too yellow. Her phone worked again. The date: July 28, 2026. She had been underground for 2 days. The world said she'd been missing for over 6 months. Back at the university, Amy listened to the one voice recording that had survived. Just one sound, her voice, layered in echo. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Part 2. The resonance. Amy never fully returned. Friends said she seemed fogged over. Not quite there. She kept a light on at all hours. She couldn't stand silence. Because in silence, it came back. The whisper. At first, she thought it was PTSD. Until she saw herself on campus. Not a hallucination, another Amy. Dressed the same, walking toward the geology building, her expression glassy. A professor waved at her. She waved back. Amy ducked behind a wall. Her phone buzzed. A text. From her own number. Stay quiet. They're listening through the rocks. Luis was still catatonic. Moved to a long-term care facility. Amy visited once. Only once. He sat in a room of concrete and padded walls, eyes wide. On the table was a piece of black stone smooth as the one in the cave. He hadn't been given anything like it. When she touched it, the fluorescent lights flickered. "They found me," he whispered. Then silence. Amy screamed, but nobody heard her. Security footage later showed her sitting silently, not moving, for over 40 minutes. Amy began seeing cracks in the sidewalk pulse. Not move pulse. She followed them one night. They led to a utility tunnel beneath the university. There, she heard it again. The hum. The same one from Hollow Deep. It was spreading. She found notes left behind by Henry, hidden in his office. Pages of charcoal rubbings, strange equations, and one phrase repeated over and over. The stone remembers. Sam was declared missing. So was Henry. No bodies, no gear. Amy found a photo taken by a trail cam near the old cave entrance. In the background, a figure. Black eyes, pale skin, smiling. Wearing Henry's coat. The cave had been sealed. Concrete poured, rebar driven, but the hum still came. Worse now. Like something breathing. Amy began to lose time. One night she woke in her apartment bathtub, clothes soaked in what looked like clay water. Under her fingernails, grit. On her phone, a 2-minute audio file. She played it. It was her own voice. In a panic. "It's underneath the campus. It's not done with us. There's more than one echo. More than one of me." One by one, others began hearing it. A janitor in the science hall went missing. A grad student claimed the fossils in the geology museum were rearranging themselves. Amy stood in front of the old mine shaft one last time. She shouldn't have come back, but something in her wouldn't let go. The ground below her vibrated. Her phone rang. "Kella, ID. Amy Barnes." She answered. Her voice. Only hers. "I'm still down here. Please, don't let me out."